Okay, here's some quick first impressions of the Ibanez AGB200 semi-hollow body electric bass. So my main inclination to buy a bass like this was to have a sound that's more like an upright bass to use in a big band setting, but that has the same comfortable feel for me as a regular electric bass. I was initially looking at maybe like a Hofner Beetle bass or a club bass. There's also the Epiphone viola bass that looks like the Beetle bass. The Epiphone viola bass runs about $600. This Ibanez AGB200 was also about $600. I like the look of it a little bit better. It kind of looks like a Les Paul almost, but something a little bit more unique than just copying the Beetle bass look, but hopefully getting a similar sound and feel. So it's got a short scale, semi-hollow body. You can actually see the wiring inside the F-hole there, which is interesting, but neck feels really good. I really like the cream binding all around. There's no sharp fret edges. Fretboard actually does not look bone dry, as is often the case with these. It's got plastic on the tuners, kind of made to look like it's ivory, but I kind of like the look of that. Plastic nut apparently as well, also seems pretty decent. I've been playing around with it a little bit here before I started the recording, and there is a little bit of fret buzz on these lower frets, so may need a truss rod adjustment, but I'm going to be swapping off these round wounds that came on it with tape wounds, so I'm not going to make any adjustments until I've swapped the strings. But I wanted to just get a little bit of a demo of the sound of this before I do that. But this is the sound with just the neck pickup soloed. Neck pickup soloed. Alright, and the tone all the way down. Take a close look. Very slight bit of scratching right there, but that's not a big deal. Here's the headstock. Now this I find interesting. The access for the truss rod. It looks like, aha, there we go. So that's nice. You actually do not have to remove this cover to access the truss rod. You just slide this. Fretboard does not need to be oiled. That might be a first for me. I usually do that even if it doesn't really seem like it needs it, but this definitely does not seem like it needs it. Here we have the humbucking pickups. Now you can see in this F-hole, you can actually see the wiring is just kind of loose in there. Would have been nice if they had some way of, you know, like taping it to the side maybe so that it wasn't visible. Because I get nitpicky about stuff like that, but I mean, really, I think my best bet here is to not mess with it. I'm going to leave it alone because I have no intention of swapping out pickups or anything like that on this instrument. I'm not as familiar with what would or wouldn't work, and I just don't want to mess with it. Here we see the label, the serial number, made in Indonesia, model number, all that stuff. Two-piece bridge setup. This is pretty nice. It's nothing like the horrible design of the Harley Benton RB414. Okay. I'm going to open up the labella. These are for the Hofner beetle base. I checked with Sweetwater. They didn't specifically know with their notes about the tape wound, but the labella flats for the Hofner beetle base were confirmed to work on this base, so it should be good. This is helpful. The colors, so we know which string is which. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to tell. That is the G string. That, oh really? Okay. E string, A, and here's the E string. There's definitely lower tension on these. It's almost, it is negative relief at this point, so we're going to need to do a truss rod adjustment as well. Maybe one more turn. I'm going to go ahead and lower the bridge again. Okay, just a very slight amount of play.